Yeah. Let's do these sound checks real quick. Where you at?
I mean, it's good, man. Nobody touched the board.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, well, I mean, if y'all ready, I'm ready.
Check. Yeah, we good. What's touch the board, Coney?
I never touched the board.
Yo, what's going on, everyone? You've locked into Elevated Radio. I am joined with Coney and DJ Swale. This is LB. Goddamn, where y'all at?
Would you introduce us?
Right.
I did just a second ago.
You said this is LB.
No, that's all you heard?
Oh, that's all. Oh, you said this?
Hold on, we're gonna restart all of this.
Make sure you just blame him because I said.
I was gonna say, how much bread you want? How much bread you want to put on it?
I ain't putting no bread on.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying I'll stand for it. Coney's scared.
Y'all wasn't ready.
Scared.
Y'all
I
wasn't
literally
ready.
said all I heard was this is LB, but I.
Yo, what's going on, everyone? You've locked into Elevated Radio. I am joined with Coney and DJ Swale. This is LB.
I ain't hear that part.
Oh, yeah, you ain't hear that part.
That's your fault. Why you switch it on?
No.
That's your fault.
I do what. It's too late.
Go ahead, man.
No, I'm just gonna text you.
Nah, go ahead.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
She's calling.
Why did you say go text her, Coney? What are we doing?
Didn't know what she said. Go ahead.
Look.
Okay. Do you know what's going on with Meg and Tori, right? Okay, cool. Well, for my podcast, I need your opinion, so I'm gonna call you. Okay, I'm done. Thank you.
Coming soon to a theater near you, LB Coney and DJ Swale. It can only mean one thing: Elevated Radio. Episode 70. Turn me up. Cruise.
Yeah.
Live in the records in your ear. Elevated Radio. LB Coney, DJ Swale. How y'all doing, my people? My brethren, my sister.
Doing good. Question.
Oh, here we go.
Answer.
Is it, what's the right word? Is it either inappropriate, out of hand, uncalled for, disgusting? If a girl has an OnlyFans, she's promoting the OnlyFans, you know what I'm saying? She's shaking her ass on the OnlyFans, titties out, all that good stuff, right? So she posts that on her story, and a male responds back to the story and says, you have like some nice titties, or you have a nice ass. And she responds back in a way that's just like, why would you say that to me? Like, is she in the wrong there? Or is the guy
on
just
the story
like,
she posted her
like OnlyFans? She has an OnlyFans, so she's posting OnlyFans stuff, like, naked, shaking ass
and
in the shower. And the guy says, just something like, you have a nice ass, or you got nice titties, or wonder what that pussy can do. And she gets mad. Is he in the wrong? Or is she in the wrong?
No, I don't think
I
he's in
don't
the
think
wrong.
so. He's in the wrong.
Yeah, I didn't think so either.
Nah, I mean, she
but
putting
that
it
just
out
sounds
there.
too cut and dry.
What do you mean?
She put it out there for the world to see.
Right, so why would she get mad?
Yeah, she should take the compliment.
Yeah, she should take it, shouldn't she?
I mean, niggas say that regardless if you showing your body or not. You know what I'm saying? Niggas
But yeah, girls, some girls be like, they get
Yeah,
mad.
but in this case, I mean, she's promoting it.
Yeah, so man had the green light.
Yeah.
Okay. See some stuff on Twitter. They was flaming him. You know how it
Flaming
goes.
the guy?
Yeah. Say it was uncalled
Saying
for.
what?
He posted it or she posted it?
She posted the screenshots, and then she was just like, you know how y'all try to justify things. Just because I got an OnlyFans don't mean you got to talk to me in a...
Wait, are you paraphrasing? Is that what he said, or are you leaving out some juicy...
That's why I said
It was like a paragraph. It was just like he was complimenting like her body.
But how... Okay, but
Ass
saying
and
you got
titties.
nice ass, nice tits...
Those words were in it.
Okay,
Wording was in it.
Was it more vulgar than that?
Nah, it was
I
straight
feel
up.
like
You
you're
got
leaving out
some
some
nice ass. You got some nice ass and titties. Like, it was pretty straight up.
Well, I just kind of feel like she's had worse in her DMs.
I know I've had it, and I'm
Right?
fully clothed on my Instagram.
Her kind of... Her kind of post like that.
Except for like my bathing suit, but
Yeah, that's my
Yeah.
thing is, you post a screenshot of it. Are you saying that's just,
She said she was disgusted.
is that such a huge, like, of all the DMs you get, that one's the one that drew the line? I guess.
I was confused.
what did he really say in this message is what I want to know.
I mean, that's pretty much what it said. Nice ass, nice titties. Those are the words. I added the pussy in there just to, spice it up. See if that was okay or not.
I mean, I don't.
I thought it was fair game. I think anybody who has OnlyFans, we can say whatever we want. That's just me, though. Because you're promoting it.
Some people are making OnlyFans to do tutorials, like cooking and shit.
I mean, yeah, but I'll see you cooking versus your ass on the stove.
That would hurt.
Yeah.
What? Burn marks.
Hey, man.
Yeah. Don't worry, ladies. The NBA Finals is almost over.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting to the end of that. You know, I like I get sick of that. I'm like, why? The game was just on yesterday. You're watching it again tonight. You're right. It is on again tonight. And guess what? In 2 more days, they're running that thing back again.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
But $2 tomorrow.
No, that was an example, man.
Oh.
Come on, bro.
Oh my gosh, it's been a long day.
It's been a long day.
It's been a long day.
It's been a
I
long
thought it was a
week.
good day.
It's been a long
What?
week.
Man, I got a
for
stain
me.
on my pants.
Let's get
I thought it was a good day.
Just gonna keep it
Cause
moving.
you got a stain on your pants.
Look,
now it's
man.
not a good day anymore.
Nah, cause I didn't know how long it's been there. Been walking around like this.
Aw,
It's embarrassing.
third world problems, huh?
It is.
Have y'all seen the challenges of this is how it started? This is where we're at.
Yes,
or how it's going.
I have.
Like obviously they started out very warm-hearted, kind of really cute posts, and then obviously Black Twitter, Instagram got a hold of it. Now it became like all of these different things. I do want to go back to it because Saweetie posted her version of that with Quavo.
Smooth.
And Quavo sent, I don't know if, have either of you seen it?
Mm-hmm.
No.
And so Quavo sent over this snowflake, and Saweetie responded with, I mean, it was like noodles in a cup or something. I don't know what that's supposed to be, but okay. And then he was like, "You so icy, I'm a glacier boy."
Smooth.
You know what I'm saying? And then she said, "So what's happening then?" You know what I'm saying? And then it popped off from there. And then obviously in the how it's going space, it was a picture of them too, like they're living life, they're happy now.
What did she post it on?
I mean, it's been everywhere.
Probably her page. I don't know. I saw it from Shade Room though. So she posted that, and that was funny. And so apparently other people been shooting their shot trying to use the same thing Quavo used. It hasn't been working out too well. Somebody said, "You so icy, I'm a glacier boy," and her response was, "My life been bad enough." Another person said, another one said, he sent the snowflake. She said, "Cold." He said, "You so icy, I'm a glacier boy." She said, "What's happening then?" And he said, "I don't know what to do after this." Quavo didn't say what to do after this. And then she said he bought her a Birkin bag. You know, so the women been winning these responses like crazy. Another one, I saw Quavo do this, and this the snowflake. She said, "Boy, fuck you." And then another one, "You so icy, I'm a glacier boy. What's happening then? Can we skip to the part where you buy me 2 Birkin bags on my birthday?" Yeah. Somebody just sent a snowflake. They didn't even get to the glacier boy part. She said, "Don't." Another one, "You so icy, I'm a glacier boy. You got Quavo money?" Question mark.
Sad.
Sent that African kid that looks at you like,
It be like that, man.
it's crazy.
It be like that.
Another one, sent an ice cube, not a snowflake. "Ooh, if you're gonna repeat something, you better use the same emoji." She said, "Melt your ass out of my DMs." And he said, "Wow."
It's getting intense.
You know. Now look, shoot your shot, right? Coney, they don't get a point for creativity.
I mean, is it creativity if they didn't come up with it?
It's creative because they saw something that worked, and they elected to do it themselves.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I'm
it's the
kind of
men
like
of
with
pop
some of the
culture.
other women. Like, do you got Quavo money? You saying you a glacier boy? How are you a glacier boy?
I don't know. What's a glacier boy?
I don't know what that is. Like, what we talking about?
Hey, I'm just saying, if you gonna say you something, I'm gonna need you to be it. Don't just be sliding in my DMs because it worked for somebody else.
Dang. So you're saying be original is what you're saying?
Boo.
Damn,
I'm
you
not
gotta
saying you
original.
gotta be original, but I'm saying if you gonna come with saying you a glacier boy or you know, I'm gonna need you to have the personality in the back up with it.
This is what they call dead space. we got a couple of things to cover on. I'm gonna just keep it moving because I'm gonna lose these two in a minute. Second presidential debate took place last night. Featured Vice President Mike Pence and Democratic challenger Senator Kamala Harris. So we're gonna call a couple of people, get some opinions. We've got our correspondents on standby.
Oh, I guess I need my headphones.
If you can, sir. Wait, you don't have headphones here?
No.
So
I gave
so
him
what
my
are we doing?
headphones the last time. Here you go.
I can go ahead and call him though. Y'all can start talking.
No, I was segueing into it.
Wait, so what are you doing?
You said you needed headphones, and last time I gave you mine. Clearly, you can't reach LB's.
I'm saying that we only have headphones. So I'm
Clearly.
gonna get mine real quick.
Oh.
I'm saying we got to
I
hear
mean,
what's going on.
well, okay, yeah.
All right.
I guess
I can
I
go
guess
ahead
we'll
and
take time out of this podcast. You know, go ahead. Go ahead. We're still rolling. It's cool. Yeah, all right, that's cool. I'm used to it. I think they. I think we do this every week. It's either you or Coney.
Wow.
It's true. You know,
When do I have to get up and get something?
when Daniel's in there,
That's different though,
that's not different.
because that's an unexpected occurrence.
No,
He
this
knows
is-
that he
this
needed
is a-
headphones for this
no,
podcast.
this
That's not
is one
anything
of-
new.
This is one of those classes. Excuse absence, unexcused absence. It's the same thing. You only get 5 of them. After that, I'm taking letters off. I'm taking letters.
Your
off.
mama passed 5.
I mean, she's a bit past 5.
Yo, you remember that's like always the comeback when you ain't had nothing to say. People like, well, your mama.
Your mama something. It was working till niggas' nose got broken.
Oh, these sound good. I like these. These are new joints. You know what I'm saying? Oh shit.
Oh, got new headphones on, a new mic.
these are the new joints. Feel me? This came out not too long ago. All right, who calling first? De
De Niro get a call first. Because you know a lot took place last night. We're gonna get to the bottom of it.
Hello. Can I call you back, please?
You say you gonna call us back?
Hello. Yep.
All right. Yeah, let us know.
Sure thing.
Sound important. Dang, he was
Dang.
like
I thought it was one of those. I thought it was one of those voicemail things. It was like, oh,
Yeah,
he'll call
hey.
you back, and then you say something like, yo, dumb ass motherfucker, I got your ass.
I thought my man was getting right. I was like, can I call you back? Can I call you back? I was like, oh yeah. Go ahead, bro.
Did y'all ever used to set those up? What was y'all voicemail sounding like?
Oh, I'm gonna tell you. Wait, you go ahead. Swallow. You go first.
I know Swale was probably the type to change his like every couple weeks.
Nah,
like,
mine was just music.
it was just music.
Yeah. You put the
So
music.
just
I had
play
the
the
ringback tone and all that.
put 106 by the phone.
I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you exactly how mine was. Hold on. Here we go.
I'm that bitch. Been that bitch, still that bitch.
Wait,
Hey
that's
y'all,
a-
what's up? This your girl Coney. You know, sorry I missed your call, but leave your name and I'll probably get back to you. All right.
Nigga in the pieces had to X and cheesy niggas on my
God damn, Coney, I'm not
Not
calling you.
specifically that song, but
yeah.
like that's how the music would come on,
Oh, never
and then I'm
call
like,
me.
"Hey, what's up? This your girl Coney. Call me back." Blah 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 blah.
Oh,
And then the music would play
microphone.
again.
You
Oh.
straddling that wire a little too much. You know what I'm saying?
Easy.
This can't be easy. Yeah, Coney, that was a very interesting song to choose.
No, I'm just saying, like, not that song specific.
We live. We live. Hello. I can't even hear him. Hold on, man. I can't even hear you. Hold on.
Technical.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, man. You good?
I'm good. My bad, y'all. I was taking a business call, and ended up having to switch over. It was weird. iOS 14, you know. Still kinda getting used to it.
It's all good, man. It's all good. You sound clear this time too, so that's a positive. What's going
I'm
on,
telling
man?
Hey, just trying to get people finishing up this last voter registration stuff, and I started a new job, so I'm just trying to get everything situated with that. So, other than that, it's been pretty good. How y'all been?
Good,
Good,
man.
good. Congrats on a new job.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, I won't hold you up. We're gonna get just straight to it. Obviously, last night we had the second iteration of these presidential debates. 2 out of 3 featured Vice President Mike Pence and the challenger Democratic nominee Kamala Harris. So, with that being said, you saw it last night. Obviously, we called you because you're the expert. What was just your initial just viewpoint on how the night transpired, especially based on what we saw the first time around with President Trump and Joe Biden essentially as 2 kids running around a playground?
Right. First, I think that we all can agree that this was a lot more civilized.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I won't say that the moderator did her job. Clearly, Mike Pence talked over her. You know, he did not stick to the time. So he kind of got that from the same playbook that Donald Trump kind of ran with last week, where they were going to try to dominate this debate, whether that's by interrupting Kamala and making her have to, constantly say, I'm speaking, calm down, wait a second, you're going to get to speak to the American people as well. But all in all, I honestly think this debate was a little bit more relaxed. It felt like a debate. 57.6 million viewers, if I'm not mistaken. So it was a very televised debate, which I think people got to finally get some clarity. I don't think they got everything. They both dodged questions. Kamala dodged questions when it came to packing the court, but Mike Pence really dodged a huge question where he did not say if he would relinquish power if Donald Trump and him lost the election. And I think that's very critical to not only our national security, but to everyone, everyone who's looking for change. If we currently have leaders who are trying to write the rules as we, kind of go down this last 27 days, it kind of, it kind of hurts and kind of builds mistrust into our system. And I don't think that we should be playing around with that. So.
Yeah, definitely. And the dodging of questions was definitely something that came up a lot of the time. I think what we've seen from President Trump as well as Mike Pence, to your point, they did do a lot of dodging when it came to being asked whether or not they would reasonably give up power if it came out that Joe Biden and Vice President Harris won. And then also there were a couple of other things that it seemed like that they could not iron out or smoothen over as it pertains to their trust in science as well as their plan for healthcare. What did you see from Senator Harris that sort of checked a box from you? What did you see from her that gave you some reassurance that she did her job last night?
Well, so there's three things, and if you guys go back and watch the debate, you would notice that Kamala Harris, she was her practice partner in this debate practice was Mayor Pete Buttigieg, who was the former mayor in Chicago, not from Chicago, from Indiana, my bad, South Bend, Indiana. And so basically, they kind of really tried to work with her to not only address the question from the moderator, but if you would notice when she would take the questions, but she would say thank you, she would address the moderator, she would look at Mike Pence. But then she would look into the camera and tell you, the people, what she thought about it. So whether that was on COVID, when she literally laid out her plan, basically telling us how, she's going, the Biden administration and her are going to work on getting testing and PPE out to the, areas that need it the most, rural areas, rural hospitals that are still lacking the resources that they need. And for example, in North Carolina, she kind of laid out her vision and she really wanted to connect with the people. And we got to see her do that every time she looked into the screen at us. Obviously, Mike Pence tried. I think we all were kind of confused for 2 minutes when I thought it was a roach, but it was a fly that landed on his head. So I mean, it was a weird debate. I think that Kamala really did do well, though. I mean, the CNN Snap, instant poll after the debate showed her winning. Monmouth ran a poll today that showed her that 51% of the people believe that she won that debate. So I think she got her points across. I don't necessarily think that this vice presidential debate is going to change anything in the polling. Vice presidential debate doesn't necessarily do that. There's actually never been a bump after a vice president debate in anyone's favor. But I think that one thing that anyone's going to take away anything from this debate is that Kamala Harris is ready. And I think that she was able to prosecute the case against Mike Pence. And I think she was able to prosecute the case against former years of Donald Trump.
You literally ripped away my next question. It was really, and it was not even to be funny, but my thing was, is there really a reason for even hosting a vice presidential debate? Just right. Given that fact, I know you want to reveal them to the public, and oftentimes we don't see them public facing during the heat of this battle. But so you do believe it did do more good than anything?
Absolutely. When you look at the polling, and that's something that I've been doing a lot now, working with this new job. When you look at the polling post the debate, where Kamala Harris' favorability was before and after, she gained 10 points. Mike Pence stayed the same at 41%. She went from 53 to 64% in favorability. Right. So what does that show us? That shows us that if this 78-year-old man, Joe Biden, who I hope becomes the next president of the United States, say if something was to happen, or we had to, use the 25th Amendment, which would allow Kamala Harris to take the powers of president, I think that we all were able to see that she is capable and willing to do the job, and she can do it effectively. and she'd do it like an HBCU student does. She would do it. She would rock it out. So
there you go. No, I agree. I think so much of just her ability to handle and compose herself, especially, you know, we hate to make it about her being a black woman, but as composed as she did remain, that was very reassuring to me, and that was something that I think she could not have handled herself, in my opinion, any better than she did last night, even with Mike Pence speaking over her, deflecting questions, and so on and so forth.
It's just so crazy for someone like me who, you know, after watching debates, I watch them again, or, you know, and I start, you know, calling people, and people start calling me. I turn on Fox News and I watch Lori Ingram, the Ingram file, or whatever it's called. And it's just a complete different view. And it makes you wonder, like, what did they watch? You've got the same racist tropes that she was an angry black woman yesterday. I didn't know that an angry black woman did nothing but smirk. You know, all she did was skip a face the whole time. How was that angry? And so, you know, you're starting to hear all these racist tropes about Kamala today. Actual North Carolina congressional member today, he told the Charlotte Observer, the only reason why Kamala Harris is even on the ticket is because she's a black woman. She's not qualified. Are you serious?
Wow.
Serious?
When she's the only one that ended up on the ticket, right? So I mean, that's crazy. And I was just talking to Swale about it after the first debate. I mean, if you just want your head to spin, go from CNN to Fox News, just back and forth between the two. They definitely saw that first debate way differently.
Yeah, I mean, it's the rhetoric that comes out of Fox News, and you know, it's bizarre. You know, if you watch it, you would literally think that America is going to crumble if Joe Biden gets to become president. But the problem that they don't understand that America is crumbling right now, and Donald Trump's president.
Facts.
I don't understand. They don't understand that.
Right.
They talk about, you know, homes and businesses getting looted and burnt. That's happening right now. That's not happening under Joe Biden's America. That's happening under Trump's America. So it's a joke. It really is a joke. That's all I can honestly put down. This whole GOP Donald Trump's tactic right now. I don't even know what to call it. The only thing I can do, and I've been telling everyone, is to just engage. Like I said, every time, get engaged, mobilize, and go to the polls. Because the best way you can end with you saw that first debate is by retiring Donald Trump.
Right.
And that's it. So, I tell all your viewers, especially if you're in North Carolina, please vote early. Please vote early. Early voting starts October 15th. It ends October 31st. All right, you can same day register and vote. You know, we got important elections. We got a presidential election. We got a Senate election where we can actually flip the Senate. And so if you really want policies that are going to really be effective towards African American people, criminal justice reform, climate change, you know, eliminating student loan debt for those making under $100,000 a year, Biden has plans for all those. Go to joebiden.com. Check them out.
That's facts. So I have 2 Trump questions for you.
Go ahead.
Number one. So I'm gonna start off by saying I'm calling Cap, but how do you feel about him?
Cap?
No,
Calling
calling
Cap.
Cap.
Yeah, calling, okay.
Wordplay.
I'm calling Cap. How do you feel about Trump catching corona for 2 days, coming out the hospital saying that he now has a cure, that he's ready to give, you know, up to 100,000 of people, and it's going to be free? Like, do you believe that, or is he just talking? And did he even have it?
So as someone who is beginning to possibly run for office coming up, I'm going to watch my words here. I'm praying for Donald Trump if he had. I wish him the best of luck. Someone who's also about to go to medical school, I've just never heard, you know, and I've been studying this, someone who was just on, you know, whose O2 saturation levels dropped, who needed O2, who's on 3 different experimental drugs, right? Didn't they say over the weekend he was doing terrible? Now this man won a debate. He's good now.
Right.
Like, I don't believe it, but hey, if that's the strategy they want to go with, again, that's why I'm saying I'm confused at the GOP and Donald Trump's strategy in this election, because you've already, you know, did so garbage when it comes to dealing with this pandemic. Now you're just telling us that even you, the president of the United States, can get COVID, right?
Right.
Yeah, and Daenerys, let me
Not to
step.
be afraid of it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying he's telling us not to be afraid of it. If you look at how much his care costed for those 4 or 3 days through that Walter cost over $100,000. I don't know about you, but I can't afford $100,000 in medical bills, and I'm pretty sure Trump can't afford it. Well, he can. I mean, his taxes, he didn't really put in for that care. He paid $750 in taxes.
Facts.
You know, we paid for his health care.
Right.
So it when you think about it and all that, you know, I'm ready for him to go.
That's
honestly
Yeah,
for him to go. If he has COVID, I'm praying for him because at the end of the day, I don't wish that on anyone. You know, we've all known someone who's been affected by it. You know, I've had friends who've lost, you know, parents, grandmother. You know, so it's a real virus, and it's out there. And I just want people to make sure that they are following the CDC guidelines, staying 6 feet apart, wearing masks. Don't listen to Trump. It's really that simple. Kamala said it yesterday about the vaccine. Would you get a vaccine? Yeah, if Dr. Fauci tells me to, but if Donald Trump tells me to, no. That's it.
And I know you have political aspirations, so you don't have to say it, but I will. You know, for me, President Trump is a businessman first, correct? So
And a terrible one at
for
that.
me,
Come on, Coney.
No, I think he's excellent at marketing. I think if there's one thing that he is incredible at, it's marketing. But to me, with that being said, what better marketing than to sort of almost, you know, in the public eye at least, lose the first debate because of how unraveled he seemed.
Gets COVID.
Literally 2 days afterward is when it's announced that he does have COVID. What better marketing than, you know, he was fighting during the debate, saying, oh no, we wouldn't just have a decision by the end of the year, we would have a vaccine ready for mass distribution by the end of the year. So you know, putting 2 and 2 together, I would imagine for many in the public is not very hard to do.
Trash.
Right.
When all of a sudden now conveniently, or so it seems, you know, I just think suspicion is warranted. An eyebrow can be raised here.
Oh, bro, absolutely. If you look at, you can right now, you all can go onto the White House website and pre-order a $100 bronze medal. It's like a coin, right? That says Trump beat COVID.
Oh my gosh.
He was able to do that 3 days ago when he was in Walter Reed.
And
So absolutely, I think that if you are sane, you should raise an eyebrow. I mean, at the end of the day, if you're sane, you should raise an eyebrow because over 213,000 Americans are dead, and now you're possibly playing. You're playing. You know, you're making a mockery of those people.
Right.
He made a mockery of those people every video that he's done since he came home to the White House, saying not to be worried about it. He told our elderly, my grandmother, who has diabetes, right? She's fine. You're good. You know, you're not vulnerable. They want you to know that you're vulnerable, but you're not. Yes, you are. The elderly are vulnerable. If you have a pre-existing condition, you are at risk. And so for this man to go around here and just consistently lie and not believe in science, absolutely raise an eyebrow. I don't believe it. But again, like I say, I'm praying for him. I'm praying for him mentally as well because clearly something's not right. So it's a mess.
Yeah, that's crazy. And then my second question for you. So today with the whole, I guess speaking of debate, so Trump said he didn't want to do a virtual debate with Joe. So he said he's not going to do it. He doesn't want to do it at all.
Right.
Is there, because I don't know at all, is there any, I guess, like consequence or any like backlash or anything that we can see in the future that will happen if he doesn't participate in the debate, or it doesn't matter when it comes to that?
So he'll be if I'm not mistaken, I'm not a historian here. I'm a political science major. But I believe he will be the first sitting president to not actively participate in the debate. The debate committee for presidential elections are a nonpartisan committee. Clearly, they've been doing a terrible job, but it's still nonpartisan. So, again, honestly, I think that Donald Trump don't want to, participate in this debate largely because the debate would be online, right? And so they're trying to keep the candidates separated each other because you got one candidate who believes in science, and then you got one candidate who was just sick, right, with COVID. And that was the whole reason for the plexiglass that was at the vice presidential debate, which then they also had to move Kamala 6 feet more away Mike Pence because they thought that he could be at risk.
Looked like ISS in there.
I've been in ISS enough to know it did.
Do you think that because the one thing that he did, the very few things I did agree with him when he was saying that if they did do the virtual debate, they would be feeding Joe like notes. Like, do you think that would be an issue with virtual debate just in general? Like
Absolutely not.
No,
absolutely
okay.
not. There has been no proven fact. There has been a time where Joe Biden has used a teleprompter to answer questions from voters. There's not been a time where Kamala Harris has done that. Joe Biden can stand on his own. Joe Biden did that when he had a CNN town hall. He's going to have another town hall coming up, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's October 15th. I think it's with NBC, if you guys want to watch that. And you guys are going to be able to see him take questions from the audience, from people. And, my biggest thing is, will Trump be getting fed answers? At this point, he has nothing to lose.
Mm-hmm.
He's not doing well in the polls. I don't say believe in the polls right now. Clearly, we've seen what happened in 2016 when we get too, complacent. But at this point, there's really not a bottom. The bottom hasn't fully fell from Trump yet, but he's so close. He's so close. I've never seen, right? This is going to be my first election in a while where I've seen a candidate averaging over 10 points in the polls, especially national polling that Joe Biden is currently having. So again, I'm not necessarily scared or worried for Joe Biden. I think he has this. I think that's why Democratic voters put him up here. And I think that he's been showing it why he was the nominee ever since the first debate. So.
Hey, De Niro, so I have just one other question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
With seeing what happened with the last election and having Russia interfere with the election, do you still see that as being a problem with this upcoming election, seeing how this is a very, very important election? I feel that is actually more important than when we elected President Barack Obama. So
Right.
do you feel that they now have more of an incentive to interfere, and do you feel like our nation's cybersecurity is ready to combat that?
So I'm gonna break that question up, but absolutely, I think that we should be worried about what Russia's doing. If anyone tell you not to be worried, then they're lying to you. In 2016 and the same today, if you look at the reports from the Senate Homeland Security reports, Russia is currently right now trying to interfere in our elections. They do it by bots. You hear it all the time on Twitter. You hear it on misinformation on Facebook. You hear it, and they just create these little things. It's more just starting up the post. And so that's how they try to build distrust. At first it was, Kamala, when she ran, for example, Kamala was a cop and that she, sent away thousands as attorney general for low drug, nonviolent drug offenses. Well, attorney generals don't prosecute cases, so that's a lie, and so that's how it kind of spurs out, and they've already been doing that. You've already seen the disinformation coming from Russia. You just had the Russian president, Vladimir Putin, on his birthday, kind of consolidate around Donald Trump being the person that he wants to be president. Why is that? Why didn't he like Obama? Why didn't he like George W. Bush? Why didn't he like Bill Clinton? It's a pattern. If he doesn't like all these presidents, but now that he likes this one, that should be a red flag, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that it's time. The Senate Republicans have not acted. You guys can look this up. They have not passed the election security bill that was passed in the House of Representatives back in January. We've been trying to work on getting this stuff passed. Strengthening the internet safety, increasing money to internet crime and stuff like that to prevent it. But the Senate Republicans have not worked with us. And so I think the best thing that we can do to make sure that we keep the integrity of this election is by voting early. They can't take your vote away. They can try to make it hard for you to vote, but they can't take it away. If you go to the polls early, if you fill out that mail-in ballot and you turn it in early, they can't stop you. The only thing I'll make sure you do in North Carolina, because our ballots are being rejected, right? So fast, a lot more than our white counterparts are, is make sure that your signature matches your government signature on your ID. and make sure that you have someone else there, especially in North Carolina, that's going to be able to verify it. Because in North Carolina, we have a rule where you need 2 signature verifications to turn in your ballot, which is just another way of voter suppression because it's a pandemic. So, yeah.
All right. Well, Daenerys, as always, man, we appreciate you taking the time. As always, we want to leave you with the last word on our platform. So if there's anything that you want to get off or let anybody know that's listening, now is that time.
Awesome. Well, hey, I want to say thank you guys for letting me speak to the audience, to your audience again, and taking the time to share my views on Kamala Harris and this election. I'm going to keep it brief this time. Just want to let everybody know there probably will still be a debate next week, even though we discussed that there's a possibility that Trump will not be into that debate. I would encourage you guys all to, be looking out for it. I'm almost positive he's not going to not participate in the debate. This last debate had over 60 million views. We all know that he's a sucker for views, right? That's what he lives on. So again, I think that we should know that there's going to be a debate. Stay engaged. Make sure you're registered to vote. If you're not registered to vote, please visit iwillvote.com. Fill that out. If you haven't gotten your absentee ballot, you can get your absentee ballot by going to iwillvote.com as well. And just make a plan to vote. Bring a friend, someone from your family. Go to the polls early. Polls are, they're about to open. So I'm going to be voting early. I encourage everybody else to do the same thing. We need to rock this vote. This is, like Tony said, this is probably the most important election in our lifetime other than Barack Obama. So much of that from reproductive rights, from the Supreme Court, healthcare. Right now, the Republicans are in court arguing to take away 25 million Americans' healthcare in the middle of a pandemic. All right. So we need to organize and mobilize around these issues and take those problems and those grievances to the ballot box on November 3rd, or do it early because there's too much at stake. I'm 25. I only have 1 more year to be on my mom's insurance. They want me to be off my mom's insurance today. Right? So there's so much stuff that's important in this election. This is not the election to sit home. This is not the election to play games. So, if you have any questions, please reach out to anyone on the panel. They can reach out to me. And then I'll make sure to answer your questions personally. But outside of that, hey, just stay engaged and stay ready. We got to do this.
All right.
Thanks, De Niro.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Dog.
Have a good week.
All right, man.
All right.
Show me the other girl's number.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
I was about to say we'll keep this one pretty short.
Lakeland. It's Lakeland, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Is this the same one from?
Yeah, Lakeland.
Okay.
Why you say it like that?
That's how you say it, Lakeland, right?
We just say Lakeland.
You should do that when you answer. Hey, Lakeland.
She might cuss you out.
She might. You cuss me out and start talking about political afterwards.
Hey, bougie and ratchet.
Hello?
Lakeland.
Hey, y'all, what's up?
What's going on? What's going on? How you doing?
Oh, y'all done gave me the horns this time. Oh, do it again.
Got everything this time for you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You
Y'all
answered the
official. I
call.
feel official. I'm always going to answer the call for y'all.
Oh man,
There you go. Hopefully it doesn't drop like last time though. So hopefully you're in a spot that's a good, receptive to service, ready to go.
I feel like very hit, but I know that I got to take that one because my call did drop at least twice, so you're right.
How are you doing, first of all?
I'm doing good, actually, man. I just got off one call, talking about some, kind of business. But now I'm good. How y'all doing tonight?
Doing great. Can't complain. All right. Well, you've been our unofficial correspondent for now. This is the returning point, the second time. We saw the second presidential debate last night, a bit more settled than the first go around. I think everyone can agree. And we'll just get right into it. What was your initial reaction from what you saw from Senator Harris and Vice President Pence?
My initial reaction, honestly, I expected nothing less of them from what they presented at the debate. I think out of both duos, out of Trump and Pence and Harris and Biden, both of them are maybe the calmer version or the calmer side of those two duos. So I kind of expected nothing less. They're more professional. So even though they had their moments and their jabs, I think it was actually a lot more toned down. I think both sides kind of got to speak a little bit more per se, even though what they were saying didn't make any sense, but they still got to speak more instead of it being like this show for the American people. Was actually something that people could sit down and say, this is a healthy conversation, even if I don't agree with what's being said in the conversation.
Right. And I know one of the bigger points of this debate, one of the things that a lot of us on the sideline were looking to see as we were analyzing from start to finish, was how well that Senator Harris, as a black woman, would compose herself, knowing that later on there would be a lot of spin for her demeanor, or if there were any sort of hiccups, that they would be held under a magnifying glass. How do you think that she responded to that spotlight last night?
I think she did a really great job. I think a lot of people actually expected. Some people expected her to be a bit more. Some people expected her to be what a lot of the stereotype that a lot of people attribute to black women, which is a very angry stereotype. A lot of people expected her to portray that image. A lot of people expected her to also portray this docile image if she wasn't going to be angry. But I think she displayed a happy medium. I think she showed the people who are part of her camp, showing them the Harris that they're going to vote for. And I think she also showed the Harris that if some people were on the fence, especially people who watched the debate last time with the president and the presidential candidate, I think people they really could appreciate what she did here in this debate.
Mm-hmm. And I think another thing or another point that a lot of people touched on last night after the debate, still not a lot of transparency from the Trump administration as it pertains to their plans for health care, the
what y'all want them to
wellness.
say, though?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
But I'm saying, like, what do y'all want Trump and Pence to say? Like, they have had 4 years, and they're saying the same thing that they've been saying for 4 years, which is nothing. So, like, I think the American people at this time, like, they're looking for Trump and Pence to come up with something new, and they haven't done that for the last, like I said, the last 4 years. They're not going to do it now. Like, they haven't. Like, when Trump came up sick with the coronavirus, he didn't. That didn't sway him. That didn't change any of his talk. It made him seem more empathetic, maybe, but no, like what he was saying at the beginning of his presidential term in regards to healthcare, he's still saying it now, even though he's seen how people have been affected by this pandemic, even though he's seen how people with pre-existing conditions, how it's affecting them and their families. They're not saying anything new because they never had to, and they still have a base.
Right, and very concerning, and then even more, again with the transparency thing. Does it worry you, because now we've seen President Trump and Mike Pence sort of dance around the question when asked, at least, would they be willing to transfer a peaceful handover of power if it comes out that Biden and Harris win the election? And I'll couple that with our question with you the last time that we were on the phone, was whether or not you saw any concern for ballot integrity as it pertains to mail-in or Russian interference. So just coupling that with their lacking of clarity with whether or not they'd have that peaceful transfer of power, does that actually raise eyebrows? Does that concern you at all?
No, not at all, honestly, because do I think it's going to be a peaceful transfer? No, I don't think it is. I think that if it comes out that Biden and Harris do win the election, Trump is going to do what he always does and pout like a little child if he loses. That's essentially what he's going to do, and he's going to do everything in his power to make it as, I believe, as hard for the next president and vice president to come in as he can. So Does that alarm me? No, because like I said, since I already know that's the kind of person that Trump is, it would actually alarm me that he doesn't do it. That would actually scare me, because then I would be trying to figure out, well, if he's not so concerned about this, then what do I need to know? Because Trump takes any chance he can get to pounce onto something or to make a situation about him. So if he doesn't pout, if he does make this an easy transition, I would very well question
what else he got up his sleeve.
Exactly, because I don't trust him to not pout.
Yeah.
But I would hope that in the midst of that transition, that if that does happen, I would hope that Biden and Harris have the ability to withstand that they can still look presidential or redeem the presidency if they do win through their actions that they display to him if he does start pouting. So their reaction to him will let me know the direction that their term will take for the American people.
What do you think about? I'm not sure how much you've seen these last couple of days with Trump and the whole Corona situation. What do you think about him saying he has a vaccine ready and ready to roll out like in the next couple of weeks for free? Like, do you believe that or no?
Yes, I believe that. I believe it because this is so funny. One day I was talking to my dad about this. My dad said, "I guarantee he's gonna come out and say that he got the vaccine. Now that he gets the vaccine, it's ready to roll, and people can start taking it." Mm-hmm. And lo and behold, that's literally what happened. Trump gets sick. As soon as he gets sick, then next thing you know, he comes out and says, "Well, the vaccine is ready and prepared." I won't even be surprised if he comes out and says somebody in his camp took the vaccine and they're okay, just to reassure the American people. But I ain't taking no vaccine.
Yeah, definitely not.
You don't have to worry about me. I know what the syphilis experience down there in Tuskegee. I think black people learn their lessons. Don't do it. Like, I don't trust them.
I think also I wouldn't be surprised if we could have had a vaccine a long time ago and he was holding on to it just for this very moment.
I mean, my only thing with the vaccine is, according to science, don't quote me on the timeline, but I guess like the fastest vaccine was like a year and a couple months. And it's like obviously less than a year and the vaccine is made. So that was my only concern about if people would even take it, if he does have it or not.
Well, that year and a couple of months is more so not with the vaccine being made, is the testing of the vaccine.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, made.
So testing. I feel like he is going to just skip that whole part, you know, and like, no, just rush it out, put it out there. People need this, blah, 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 blah.
It's tough.
Well, I think they actually have kind of, well, not as trying to skip the testing part, but I've seen commercials trying to get people, like just regular American people, to test the vaccine by requesting it. That's really it. Like, they are just putting the vaccine out there, and then they're trying to get people to request the vaccine. That's how they're testing it.
Yeah, I have seen that. I have seen their, I don't know how legit it is, but they were paying like a couple $100s to get like Corona tests and things like that, which I would never do. It's crazy.
I mean, well, and also now too. I'm sorry, like I was gonna say also now too, you know, they have these antibody tests too. So I think that's also a way of sneaking it in or getting results from people.
Yeah, it is, because I don't know. You know, like I just want to say about this vaccine, I just ain't taking it. I don't think that it's necessarily good, because I haven't heard no doctors come out and verify this vaccine. Like, where's Dr. Fauci that's out here talking about all the stats and statistics, but now he's quiet about the vaccine and if it can be a help to the American people. So I just don't trust it. I don't trust no medical professionals have kind of bashed it. Actually, a lot of medical professionals have actually bashed the United States for how they're handling this virus and the potential vaccine that they are putting out before now. So I personally just don't trust. I just don't think that it's going to be good for the American people. I actually think that it's going to do more harm than good. Because like I said, they're not even testing it on people. They're literally just putting it out there and knowing that because people are so scared, they're just going to take it. And then that's how they're going to get their real life data.
Yeah, sure.
And I think that's to you people at DC, because you can't do that. Like, there's no amount of money that you can use or amount of money that you can say that you will put a cost on someone else's life. Because there have been countries, there have been different regions and places that people consider third world countries that have no cases of the virus. And they literally done, and they don't have a vaccine. So what are they doing that doesn't include a vaccine that we could be doing? Because if they're supposed to be third world countries, and we're not a third world country by any means, how is it that we still have cases and they don't?
Yeah, I'm not
So I
taking
don't
it.
take the vaccine.
I'm not taking it either.
You ain't gotta worry about that.
I don't even take the flu shot.
Yeah, that's a fact. Too.
Like, and that's honest. I'd be like, look, if I get sick, I'll just take an emergency.
An emergency.
And that works fine.
Take an emergency. Keep it moving.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
You take them 3 days in a row, you are good.
I feel that though. I feel that.
All right, Lakeland. Well, we appreciate you as always for taking the time out. Talk to us, chat with us. As we depart, is there anything that you want to share with anybody? We kind of allow this platform to be used however you wish to.
Yes, I do. I just want to go out there. I want to encourage everybody to vote. Go out there and vote because this is a very pivotal time in American history. I know it doesn't seem like it now, but 10 years down the line, we're going to look back. And this election will be the election that shapes American history, that shapes American politics for the next 50, 60, 70 years to come. And so go out there and vote. Make sure that you go out there and you pick someone that you're well informed on. Don't just pick Biden in here just because, you know, you don't like Trump. Figure out why you don't like Trump because you might find out you do like him. I ain't saying vote for the man, but what I am saying is become an informed person so that you can make a decision that's good for you, your family, and the generations that come after you. Also follow my friend Kennedy Johnson. She has a nonprofit for Black kids called For the Black Kids Inc. It is a nonprofit that seeks to help build up Black children to make sure that they can become the best version of themselves and to present the best version of themselves to a world that tells them that they cannot, to tell them that they are special, that they are heard, that they are loved, and that they can do absolutely anything that they put their minds to. So follow at the Black Kids, For the Black Kids Inc. And go out there and vote people. That's all I got.
All right, Shawty. Appreciate you for coming on. Have a good night, Lakeland.
All right, y'all have a good night.
All right.
Thank you.
You should know this by now. We elevated.
Is it just me or like is anybody else having trouble hearing the audio?
I think it's the phone.
Okay.
I was thinking about. We'll do it next time. I'm gonna try a different way next time though. Just know that.
It's all good. It's all good.
I think it's 'cause
I
of
just
Bluetooth.
wanted to make sure I wasn't alone.
Muscle sore.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
But we're gonna keep this phone line running. This is like a what are those specials called when telethon? This is like a telethon. Yeah. Hey, give me some horns. Give me some horns. Do we have any performers? We don't have any performers for this telethon.
I can rap real quick.
Rap? Oh yeah. Whose bars he stealing this week?
Yeah. Okay. Check me out. Look. Look. Okay, hold on. Keep going. Okay, look. I had a dream and I'm on the way to heaven. When I awoke, I spent that on the necklace. Yeah. Look. Wait till I get my money, right? Then you can't tell me nothing, right? Look. Excuse me. You can't tell me nothing. Excuse me. You can't tell me nothing. That's all I got. That's it. That's all you get for free, man. That's all you get for free. That's all you get for free.
We've had a development in the story, and we're going to talk about it when we hop on the phone. Let's go ahead and get Blair on the phone first. Let's call Blair first. I told him that I'd give him a call.
Yo,
He's live.
my muscles hurt.
Do you even work out, Coney?
I do.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Oh. Okay.
Oh.
I'm trying to be fine for my birthday.
In a couple weeks.
I know.
Hello?
Hey, is Blair present?
Yeah, what's good?
Oh, we got a shooter on the phone. Shooter's on the phone.
Oh, you should let me do it. I don't
The
like
shooter is on the phone.
What's good? What's
Blair,
good?
my man, how you doing?
What's good, Lawrence? How you doing?
I'm good, man. You still in Miami? How's Miami treating you?
Yeah, I'm still down here, man. You know, Miami. Hot, crazy.
Is it open or closed, man? Because I feel like we look on social media, we're confused. Is it open or is it closed?
Man, listen,
it really never closed. People just don't listen down here. But they just went into phase 3 like last week, so technically it's open. Like stuff's open, but our curfew is like 11. So clubs are open until 11. It's crazy.
Which is like that's like dinner time in Miami, right?
Oh yeah, we don't even go out till midnight normally. So
that's crazy. Yeah, North Carolina way different. We just gonna say that. So obviously, you know why we called. I mentioned it earlier. I wanted to start with you because, like me, you know, we were Tory Lanez fans, right?
Right.
Fan of the music. I'm always gonna say I'm a fan of the music first because I don't get down with y'all funny niggas like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I like the music, but I don't know these people, and this is point A for why that becomes the case. Now, I'm sure you may have seen the more recent news about Tory Lanez now being officially charged with assault. And you know, with everything from the initial time that it started to the album to the news today, man, what's sort of been hard for you to wrap your mind around? What's been your response to all this?
I mean, like you said, I'm a fan of Tory's music, so you know it's hard to be a fan of a person when you don't know them. But as far as his music, he's always been one of my favorite musicians, one of my favorite artists. So I can't take that away. Kind of similar with Kanye. I don't like Kanye at all as a person, but I can't argue that he's a musical genius.
Facts. Genius is a stretch.
Nah, that man, he's crazy.
In his earlier days, I would definitely say genius. Okay, now,
yeah. What? Oh yeah, nah. Now his music just like his shoes, trash. But you know, it's all good.
He cooking. He roasting. My man is roasting right now.
One of y'all wearing Yeezys, my fault.
I got him in the closet. I got him in the closet.
Yeah, that's close to Swale heart.
I got him in
you know
the
what I'm
closet.
saying? He actually went to one of those Sunday service.
I cried.
Oh man, I'm sorry. That's unfortunate. But
oh man.
But,
all right. So did you hear the album at all from an objective point of view?
No, I didn't listen to the album. I listened to the first track. I just wanted to hear what he had to say about Meg. I didn't really have time to listen to the whole album. I probably will go back and listen to the rest of it. But I will say, like, when this whole thing started, if we're being quite honest, I didn't take in either one of their sides. I didn't believe either one of them because it was just clear that neither one of them was telling the whole truth. That was just straight up. Like, you know, Meg came out. Well, when it first happened, nobody said anything. They were quiet. You know, we found out through Instagram or whatever. And people were just wondering, like, you know, why is it taking so long? And she gave her explanation. She's like, you know, you get shot. It's not the first thing you want to go tell Instagram that you know, somebody shot you or whatever. But so I get that. But when she came out and said it, you know, like, I was on her live when she said it, and she was just like, yeah, he shot me. And, you know, that was kind of like it. There was no detail behind it. There was no detail behind what happened, you know, like what led up to it, what, you know. Because nobody just shoot people for no reason. I don't care how crazy you are. Like, you don't just shoot people.
Told you, Coney.
So
that's what I said.
So, you know.
Why you say told you, Coney? Like I said, oh, he just shot her.
I don't know. You just
talking. Tory ain't he's not a, you know, schizophrenic or nothing like that. So if he's going to shoot somebody, Tory does strike me as a person to carry a legal firearm because he is an idiot, like, in that regard. So I'm not surprised about that, but just like to actually shoot it at somebody that's not like, you know, a threat or like attacking them or something like that, it didn't make sense. And she wasn't explaining that. So that didn't feel right. So I was like, you know, okay, well, she said it. So now I need to hear, you know, Tory's response. And he waited forever and a day, you know, not saying things, saying, oh, it was because of legal teams or, you know, whatever. And then when he came out with the album, and for, you know, whatever lack of clarity, he said that he didn't do it. And then he started bringing up stuff about, oh, he used to have relationships with a friend, you know, and you know, the friend was there or she liked him first and Meg stopped being cool with the friend or whoever. And then he started talking about Kylie, which I don't understand how she becomes relevant in all these different types of situations. But, you know, like, it was just very vague between both of them. You know what I'm saying? And then her response back to that was to, like, promote fashion over jeans. I was just like, this ain't something not right. I was like, both of them, for whatever reasons, you know, I don't, and like, you know, nobody knew they was messing around. Everybody just guessed it, but then that came out. So it was just real suspicious. So when I saw the day that, they officially charged him, I was like, okay, now I feel like I can err more on the side of Meg because I don't feel that the police department would charge him for firing or, a gun on somebody if they did not have evidence of that. But they also did say that they tested him for GSR and he didn't have it on him. They said it was his gun, but they couldn't prove that he shot it. So there's a lot of missing details to this. But I mean, I feel that now that the official they are charging him with assaulting her with shooting her with a gun, like I have to err on that side just because I just feel that charge wouldn't have came out. I expected him to be charged with illegal possession because he's just dumbass to do that. I expected that. I expected drugs, all of that, whatever that he would have had on him. But for them to charge him with the actual shooting her, that's something different because that means that the police department is saying, based on what they gathered, he shot her. So I have to err more on Meg's side now.
And right before we let you go, I want to point out the irony of all of this because we are now leaning on the legal system that we have been voicing our displeasure with for like endless months, but we think they are the one that we need to listen to when it comes to Tory and Meg. So I'm gonna just leave it there. Blair, appreciate you being available, chatting with us.
Thanks, Blair.
No problem.
Keep staying safe out there. And
definitely.
We'll talk another time.
All right, brother. I appreciate it, man. Y'all stay safe out there in Carolina.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
All right.
It's crazy, man. It's like,
that's fair.
We've been barking at the legal system, and it's like, oh, help us decide who we believe in. But I think he said a couple of things that we've said on this podcast a few times.
I agree with them all.
And additionally, I don't really know that this charge really revealed any more information. I think it was getting close to trial, and they had determined based off of the information or lack of information that they had that somebody needs to be responsible, right? And we knew it was Tory's gun. We knew he was around. So evidence would lead to believe that he is the primary suspect. I took the news today as the police department just determining that he is the suspect, as opposed to rushing out to it. Because before, there weren't any suspects, right? Like nobody was officially identified as the shooter. So to me, I take this as, from the information we have, we've decided that it's this person, right? Whereas, social media made that decision already, but the police came out and said, nah, this is how we feel.
Yeah, because you can be charged and cleared.
But that's what I'm saying, though. But I'm saying if he's charged for shooting her, that means somebody pressed charges, though, right?
No, because it's a criminal case. You don't have to press charges.
So you can just be charged without somebody saying that they shot her.
Yeah, because it's a criminal case. There's a victim, right? Like there's a victim involved. There was a 911 call. There's an investigation now. And so the police, it's in their hands to determine who is responsible. So you don't have to press charges. That's more so in like civil cases.
Especially since the police was called out.
Yeah.
Interesting.
If I slip in your restaurant, I'm gonna press charges, right? But the police aren't necessarily gonna just pop up and investigate the situation and say, "Hey, you didn't put out a wet sign," right? Like somebody was shot, the police were called, someone was arrested, so now it's in their hands to determine who's responsible. And I think what we just understood was
it told me a little more.
Guns there. Yeah, I mean, it did. I think for me, again, this is the whole thing of I'm just done playing detective. I'm done trying to piece together.
Trash.
I've announced what I think happened in a previous podcast, and now I'm at the point where it's like, until we reach the verdict, and that's something we can talk about with the next caller. I think we're dancing around the inevitable, because the real conversation now at this point should be, is Tory Lanez canceled or does he have a career? I don't think. And a point that I think Coney and I were making before, not the last podcast, but the one before, was, is there anything that we're expecting to come out of this case that doesn't deem Tory Lanez at least to be responsible, even if he's not the one who fired it? And if that's the case, we're now put in a position where it's like, do we support him or do we not? And I think that's what we're led to now, as opposed to, did he do it or not? I think that's more of the conversation. Can we forgive him, or is he done?
It's
I
gonna
mean,
be
I
tough,
don't
man.
think it's up to me to
It's
forgive
tough.
him because he
Yeah,
didn't
I don't
shoot
care.
me.
No, I agree.
Yeah, my boy.
No, I agree. No, well, but the general consensus
I'ma still
is,
listen.
quote unquote, the general consensus, and I know R. Kelly's different because he wasn't active at that time,
Wow,
but the
man.
general consensus was he was canceled.
I think
Is
that
Tory is different because Tory is current.
he's current.
A lot of people
Yeah.
aren't current when they get canceled. But
Kelly
anyway,
came-
let's. I mean, we can call Will if we want to, or we can
R.
go.
Kelly
to one
came
of-
out with the Chocolate Factory during his charges. That man smooth. All right, which one?
Who we going to next?
The 910?
Yeah, we can knock that out, and then we can go to Coney's.
Man, that boy a wild man. Step in the name of love. Oh man, wild.
Hello.
Is this Prize?
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, who's this?
Oh yeah, Prize. Hey man, it's LB, man. We calling from the podcast. Ellie, you are on Elevator Radio. How you doing, sir?
I'm on Elevator Radio.
You on
Oh, what's
Elevator
going on?
Radio
What's up?
right now? Live. This is you.
Ah,
Dude,
This is not a test,
what's the
sir.
deal?
What's going on, man? How you feeling?
Man, I just got off work, man. I'm feeling 10 times better now.
That's what's up, man. So wait, are you on the road? Or are you on the way home?
Yeah, I'm on the road.
All right.
drive safe.
Well,
Be
you know,
safe.
I gave you the heads up earlier. I wanted to chat just a little bit about Tory Lanez, Meg Thee Stallion, the situation that's going on. Not sure if you know, but obviously Tory Lanez has now been charged officially as the one who fired the gun. Oh wait, did you not hear that?
No, I haven't. I tapped out. I ain't gonna lie. Like, after probably like last week, I tapped out of everything. So you got to catch me up.
Oh man. Well, you know he came out with an album, hopefully.
Oh, yeah. I know that. Definitely. heard
Okay. So the only new information at this point since then is just that Tory Lanez now today has been officially charged with assault for firing and injuring Meg Thee Stallion. And so basically the arraignment is to come up. He'll either plead guilty or not guilty. He's now facing a possibility of 22 years if he's convicted to the fullest extent. Now, I know you mentioned that like you kind of ducked out of the whole thing. Were you at any point before any of this took place, were you at all a Tory Lanez fan? Let's start there.
Okay, hold on. Let me put my little L out real quick. Oh,
Hey man, this is a smoke. This is a 420 friendly show. You know what I'm saying?
oh, okay. Let me see the thing. So, all right. So basically, you're asking whose side am I taking? Or like,
No, well. First, I just wanted to know. Were you a Tory Lanez fan before all of this took place? Like, where did you see Tory Lanez as far as like your fandom goes as an artist?
I wasn't a like huge fan, but I liked a couple of records. You know what I'm saying, for sure. I could honestly say, to be honest, if not for the shooting situation, you wouldn't have got the last album. I'm not gonna lie, this recent album got the slaps on it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna,
That's what I said.
Look, I wanted to hit you up because I knew you were gonna tell me. Like from an artist standpoint, I mean, I listened to it. Swale listened to it. There's some fire tracks on there.
Coney didn't listen to it.
right.
One thing that we can't really take away from Tory is his ability to make music. And that's beyond just rapping or singing. I mean, this guy can put together projects, music, melodies, like the whole nine. My question isn't necessarily which side are you on, but more so, what do you think? Do you think it was right from him from an artist standpoint? And I want you to just think from your artist standpoint, putting out music. We always ask artists to put out their feelings, to put their real stories into their projects. But did you think that it was appropriate for Tory Lanez to first respond with a project as opposed to coming out and speaking on it?
I definitely think that him coming out with a project without
the situation being seen all the way through without him really, leveling off on the situation at all. It kind of almost looks like it almost looks like I did it and shit, I'm swagged up now. I'm cool. You know what I mean? Like, I get it because it's because he has so much attention from that standpoint of the artistry, like the business side. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure he made a nice little bag. So if he do go to jail, his people should be straight. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
But yes, I think he should have talked about the situation. You know what I'm saying, to the fans first before coming out with something that sounds like he's almost gloating about the situation.
Mm-hmm. And even taking out Tory from the situation, what do you think about cancel culture in general? Just the idea of cancel culture.
All right, so I think cancel culture is not necessarily an all the way bad thing, especially if we talking about like R. Kelly. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But like, you know what I'm saying? But then it's just certain situations where, people might hit the first thing that pop up on their TL or the first thing, first little piece of information they get, they ready to just throw out their whole love for this artist, you've been loving this artist for 15 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, you haven't even tried to dig into the situation. You know what I'm saying? Or waited for further. So as long as I'm with cancel culture, as long as you as a listener have taken the time out to, you know what I mean, actually give the artist that you used to love a chance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, man. This has been. I can tell you, I was at one point a Tory Lanez fan. I don't know if I should say pretense, currently, whatever. I was a fan of his music. This is gonna hurt if it comes out that all of this was true. I will say that. But Prize, man, we're gonna have to get you up here at some point.
Yes, sir.
We talked before. It's been a while since we linked up. We're gonna have to chat. I know you're working on things behind the scenes. So whenever you're ready, just let me know, man.
Hey, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Up from here, man. 2020 is still happening. I'll definitely tap in soon. Probably right at tonight sometime.
All right, bet, man. Just let me know. Stay safe out there.
Drive safe.
You, brother. Hey, man. Elevated Radio, man. Y'all the realest, man. Love y'all.
I
appreciate it.
All right, man. Stay up.
All right.
Yeah.
You should know this by now. We elevated.
I will say right before we call Coney's people, I'm gonna let you take over, Coney. Wait, what happened? Did I miss something? What happened?
She don't have no
text
people,
you, bro. Oh, okay. I mean, guess you say it out loud.
She don't have no people.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's fine. We're running close on time.
I got it. You
got people?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Right before we get to that, I
My
wanted to
fellow
talk
Scorpio, always coming through.
I wanted to. That's not a quote people say.
They never say that.
Not for Scorpios, at least. Before we get to the next call, I mean, I think one of the interesting things about cancel culture, and I brought it up for a reason, was I started doing a little background on everyone who's ever been in trouble for something domestically or criminally, whatever the case is. Number one, there's a conversation that we're gonna have for a different day. And I think we touched on it before, but now it's more relevant, is we celebrate violence first in hip hop. Mm-hmm. And I think that's an adjacent issue to or not even an issue, but it's the conflict of us deciding whether or not to cancel someone, but we like Chief Keef. We want to cancel someone, but we like, you know what I'm saying? Like all of these, right. So Well, not even really Chris Brown, because he had like an actual case, but I meant more so the music of people that say shit. So that's number one. That's a conflict that I want to talk about, because I think that's really interesting. Because that's the problem I have. It's like, okay, well, what's wrong? Like, what's too far when you actually do it? But then we like people who are genuine and not people who aren't doing the things. So it's like, if we hear NBA YoungBoy saying this, that, and the third, and we actually believe he would do this, that, and the third, we're celebrating him, but we're canceling somebody else. And I don't want to compare a domestic situation against a woman and NBA YoungBoy talking about gang life or whatever the case is. I just want to bring that up because I think it's interesting.
I mean, didn't somebody he was dating get shot at because of him or something?
Oh yeah, wasn't it?
What are we talking about?
NBA YoungBoy when they was in like some hotel or something.
Yeah. Wasn't it?
Floyd's daughter.
Was she she's shot the one who got shot?
Else? Oh, I don't know. I was naming people. Either y'all or Janae's like it's two.
It was.
Ones.
I know.
I
what you're
feel
talking
like it
about,
might have been the Janae girl, but yeah, he was.
Oh yeah,
out.
she was. No, she was the one that shot. I thought.
I thought she was the one who got beat up.
No, somebody. I thought
he got too many.
I thought one of his.
I can't keep up.
I thought one of his baby moms fired off on somebody and then had to go to jail for it.
I just know he was with some girl and she ended up getting shot because she was with him.
Well, damn. Yeah, we can figure it out. I'm
Another
sure
girl
one of those
got
stories
stabbed
is true.
by Yaya Mayweather's daughter.
I know that story.
Yeah.
And now she's
my
pregnant.
wife.
Now she pregnant.
And that boy funny.
I want to say before the camera goes off, if you're listening to us for the first time, make sure you hit the subscribe button, leave a review. You can find us anywhere you consume your podcast. So anyway, but not just that, yeah. And then touching back on the Chris Brown thing. So Chris Brown obviously has his infamous case. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Do we look at that too much differently from what's going on? Obviously, Meg was shot, but if you're talking about it from a damage standpoint, Rihanna probably suffered more damage. We're talking about her moneymaker. We're talking about her face, her physical, her appearance. She didn't look too good. Yeah. Meg, she got some fragments taken out and she wearing heels in every video we see. So, I think, and also if you want to go even further, the humiliation mentally that Rihanna suffered is not the same as Meg Thee Stallion. For somebody to be beaten by someone that they love and that was broadcasted, like their relationship was broadcasted to the world.
For a long time.
Meg and Tory's was more so secretive, and a lot of the time in the beginning there were more jokes about Meg being the aggressor in the bigger one. So talking about it from a physical standpoint, from an emotional standpoint, I mean, we can say obviously a gun was involved in Meg's case, but I don't know that it was any worse than Rihanna's.
I don't know if it was worse than Rihanna's. I'm just gonna go back and say I agree with the other things you said. That's why I didn't we don't gotta say the names, but a lot of the OGs that was trying to talk down on Tory, but it's like in their music, skeletons. It's not any better what you call women and how you treat women. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So where's the line?
I think we just gotta change the whole culture. Like if you look at a lot of other, racist music, I mean,
that's tough to do though. You're changing the whole rap culture. That's tough.
I know, but this is what I'm
almost
saying.
Impossible. Really.
When we look at other, cultures and their music, and I'm not saying every single song. So don't go find a song and send it to me. I'm not saying every single song, but a lot of their music is more so of uplifting women and not necessarily, dogging them or
it depends though, but I think
and with our culture I feel like because we have praised that for so long, yes, obviously it would be hard, but we're not gonna see any change if we don't change it there.
I don't know, that's tough to say though, because that's why I feel like we have so many genres of music. You gotta just find a genre for you, because you can't necessarily say rock is any better. Like they be wilding in rock, wilding.
Right. That's why I said it's not every single thing. But
you gotta find what's good for you. You got gospel. That's what gospel's for.
Yeah, you want to uplift and go to gospel.
Yeah, so it's
but I mean, gospel isn't specifically just just uplifting women, but that's just
I see what
you're saying, level. But I think that's where the genres come from, man. Back then we had gangster rap, and now gangster rap's kind of with regular rap, which is weird. But you gotta just find the right genre for you.
I do.
So you tell me you can't rap and not?
Well, then you have conscious rap. So maybe you listen to Kendrick and Cole versus Kodak.
Okay, but I'm saying we have those rappers like that, and they're at the top of the list to be some of the greatest. What's wrong with creating that type of culture?
That's tough though, man.
And not saying get rid of everything, but just creating that overwhelming culture. We're saying, we can have a little bit of it here, but it doesn't have to dominate.
Well, that's a bigger picture. Then that's a bigger problem because we don't control the culture. You know what I'm saying?
Technically,
but what I was
saying, they're not gonna debatable, because if that's the case, there would be more Kendrick and Coles out here. But the Yachty's and Young Boys are selling, so these white labels, these Jewish people are putting money behind the Uzis in them.
Also, I wouldn't really say that those people were more effective in our genre, because the Coles, Kendricks, and Drakes are still the ones that typically sell more. So I'd say that at its core, there are more people that enjoy listening to deeper music. But obviously, if we're comparing it to what we see on social media, which I've brought up before, social media shouldn't be a reflection of society. because running by the numbers, social media, number one, most people on planet Earth aren't on social media. So once they're not even the majority. So I mean, once we take that and kind of compartmentalize it and understand we shouldn't be getting the validation from Shade Room of all places of like what's hot, what's not. There's a reason why the blue faces of the world sell like 10,000, and it's just So
but I
think
also,
it's very misleading what actually was close to people. We see a lot of the flash, the futures, and all this other stuff, but they're still not outselling the more methodical rappers.
Right. And I will say, when it comes to like us, the number of people who are not on social media, a lot of those numbers are also the older generation.
A lot.
But I'm talking about, this younger generation we have coming up who see social media and believe that it's life.
It's tough, man. Like I said, unfortunately, we just don't control that part of the culture. We don't control what we see. Like you said, with social media.
But technically we do in an
A lot of
aspect
these
of what we
big-
buy, of
you'll
what
be
we
surprised
like,
how many
of
of
what we
these-
retweet, of what we share. All of that is put into algorithms of what people are going to start putting their money towards.
But at the same time, a lot of these blog sites, not Shade Room, obviously, some of the black blog sites, a lot of these huge hip hop blog sites are not even black owned themselves. So it's like,
That's
again, like
another
you said,
thing.
we validate what's cool, but the little white kid, suburban kid is running the page.